Alright guys, what up? It's your boy T-Dub was Blazing the Sports. Listen man, a lot of people are still upset about this. There's a lot of people, UK fans, some American fans, stomach is still upset from this loss, guys. There's rumors he was knocked out, when sparring. And this is a picture of, when he was beat up, talking to Radio Raheem. Well, I'm not beat. I'm not. I don't mean to say beat up. Well, he has bruises. Visually, you can see bruises. But I'm gonna just say this, man. I'm gonna try not to go too hard on Joshua. Listen. The guy just suffered his first loss, and it came in probably the worst way possible. If this was a boxing nightmare, this would be Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers, Final Destination, all wrapped up in one. Because, think about it, man. The red carpet was laid out. Madison Square Garden. Your U.S. debut. You come to conquer the USA. And man, Big Baby Miller pulled out. Well, he didn't pull out. Too much juice got him loose, so he had to leave. Ortiz, money issues. And then Andy Ruiz. And here's the thing, guys, and I keep saying this. Andy Ruiz cherry-picked Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was a cherry pick. Why do I say that? Because Andy Ruiz said, out of all the three champions, that's including Tyson Fury, the one he wanted smoke with, the one he felt he can beat, was Anthony Joshua. Another reason Andy Ruiz cherry-picked Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn did not reach out to Andy. Andy reached out to Eddie Hearn. And he told him, I would love the opportunity. I will beat you a champion. Eddie probably was sitting back laughing and shit. What? This Teletubby is going to beat my champion? My Hercules? Oh, we got to jump on this. Probably went to Anthony Joshua. Look at this chubby chaser. This Teletubby saying he can beat you, Joshua. Sign it up. Sign it up. And it didn't work out that way. This was his nightmare. This was his boxing nightmare. Fight someone that wanted to fight you, that you didn't really want to fight, in foreign country, foreign soil, and not even being prepared. Well, what do you mean, T-Dub? What do you mean he's not prepared? What do you mean? Most fighters, especially if you're not used to fighting over here, you're not used to this air, this oxygen. A lot of people go to California, some go to Colorado, train in Big Bear Lake or in Colorado somewhere to try to at least train in conditions that's going to push your body. So when you go and fight in places like New York, at least you've been trained in conditions that should exceed what you're going to be in. I'm not knocking Miami. I'm not knocking it. But I'm not sure if you're making your U.S. debut, if that's the ideal spot to start, to do it. That's one thing. Two, maybe Anthony Joshua should have came over sooner. Three, how in the hell does he not know how to deal with a shorter fighter? What was his trainers telling him in between rounds? Now, I was doing live commentating, but what the fuck were they telling him? Were they saying that, I mean, was they telling him to use his jab and he just ignored it? No, like, I don't know. Hold on, guys. Trigger Happy, what's up, man? Salute, my dude. Says, you got a, fuck, I can't see it. I'm sorry, bro. Sorry, man. Let me see if I can read it. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Turn this up. Move that down. You got a, fuck, I can't make it out. He said, I'm Hispanic and I agree. Here's the thing, man. Andy did everything right. Andy Ruiz did everything right. Andy Ruiz cherry-picked a champion. Some people don't even think that's possible, but it is. He cherry-picked the champion. People say Danny Garcia cherry-picked. Other fighters cherry-picked. Andy Ruiz said this. Out of all the three champions, Wilder, Fury, Joshua, the one he wanted, the one he felt that he can have success against, is Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn didn't reach out to him. He reached out to Eddie Hearn. Listen, guys. Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, one of them was 12 o'clock day, one of them was 12 o'clock night. Because everything went right for Andy. Reached out, got the fight he wanted, made history, first Mexican-American champion, beat the shit out of the UK champion on US soil. Everything went right for him. Everything went wrong for Anthony Joshua. Didn't fight the person he wanted to fight. Fighting in foreign soil. Making his debut. Putting so much pressure on himself. You know. Everything went wrong. But guys, I'm going to talk about what Joshua needs to do. What Anthony Joshua needs to do. He needs to fire a lot of yes men. He needs to fire anyone that did not tell him what to do, proper instructions, not to utilize your jab. He needs to be fired. If they didn't have him watching people that utilize their jab a lot, how to fight shorter fighters, they need to be fired. He needs somebody in his corner that's not trying to just get paid. See, there's a lot of people over there probably, I'm just guesstimation that they're probably with Anthony Joshua just to get paid, and they are afraid at this point to say something you don't want to hear because they don't want to get fired. They want to keep that paycheck. But now Joshua backs against the wall. He is really do or die. And the thing is, Andy Ruiz is more confident than ever. He's fast. He has good timing. He has a good IQ. See, Andy Ruiz is not like Amir Khan. See, Amir Khan, he just fast. He just fast. If you can't deal with the speed, then you're fucked. But Andy Ruiz, he's fast. He can counterpunch. And how to counterpunch, in order to counterpunch, you got to be able to process quickly. You have to see a flaw and process with the right punch at the right time. And he done that shit a lot against Joshua. Joshua had no answer. What's 2 + 2, Joshua? He didn't have an answer. And now they're talking about having a fight in the UK. Andy Ruiz says, well, I'm the champion. Basically, I call the shots now. I'm telling you right now, Andy Ruiz is having Al Heyman and probably a whole lot of more lawyers look that contract over for any loopholes so they can control where it's going to be at. Because get this shit, guys. Like I said yesterday, get this shit. Most of us, including myself, had Andy Ruiz winning that fight comfortable. A matter of a fact, I had Anthony Joshua needing a goddamn knockout. I had him needing a knockout. And one of the judges had Joshua winning, and two had it a draw. And that is in the USA. That is in Andy Ruiz's country. If that shit go back over there to the UK, all Joshua has to do is stay on his feet. Staying alive. Bum, 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 bum. Staying alive. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can read the chat now. Dante was cracking. What did you say, bro? His chin like glass. Damn. So I can make out some of it, but not a lot. You know what? Listen, man. I don't know if his chin is like glass. You know what? I don't know if I can put that on him yet. Because if I say his chin is like glass, then I'm taking away from what Andy did. Andy Ruiz, he's not a one-punch knockout artist. But listen, bro. This motherfucker Andy recoil and refire, that shit is nice. It's not many people that can throw hooks that fast. It's not many people that can throw an overhand right and left hooks over and over and over at the speed that Andy done it. See, Andy had a smart game plan. His game plan was, I'm not going to counterpunch with one punch. I'm going to counterpunch in bunches. Counterpunch in bunches. 5 shots, 6 shots, 8 shots. Whenever Joshua threw one shot, Andy Ruiz had at least 5, 6, or 7, or 8 coming back at him. And Anthony Joshua froze. He was shocked. He was froze like a deer in the headlights. He had no answer. He put on the earmuffs, guys, earmuffs. He covered his ears with both hands, but he didn't cover his face. And Andy was, man. I'm giving props to Andy Ruiz. He had the best game plan to beat Joshua. And Joshua, I don't know, man. You know, like, there's a lot of things come out. And you know what, guys, listen. Part of me do not want to believe the rumors. I don't want to believe him for real. I don't want to believe he was knocked out in sparring. I don't want to believe he had a nervous breakdown. Because anything you say is going to take away from what Andy did. Anything, if you say, he had a concussion, you know what that's doing? That is taking away from what Andy Ruiz done to Joshua. Oh, he was having a nervous breakdown in the back room. You're taking away from Andy again. I don't want to take away. Now, I must admit that Joshua did not look the same. I got to admit that. I got to admit, why the hell is this guy exhausted in the second round? Why is this guy taking deep breaths? The end of the first round. I'm like, what the fuck up, man? What is it? Now, I haven't looked into it, but was this the first time that Joshua was on VADA? Or has he always been on VADA? I know he's been on drug tests in the UK. I know that. But is this the first time he's been on VADA? Now, I don't know if you guys seen a response from Dylan White, but Dylan White, in so many words, was saying that the difference is not really about the sparring partners. Is that Dylan White is trying to allude that Joshua was didn't look as good because he was on vital testing. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not going to say it. I have no idea. What do you think? My girl in the building, Michelle, what it does. And you know what? I really, truly hate, hold on. I truly hate that I'm using this app and I cannot read. Let me try it, hold on. I cannot see shit. Let me see. Facts. Andy was the better fighter and is going to win rematch in my opinion. Michelle, you have to favor Andy. And I'm going to say this, man, listen. Even, you know what, let's assume the rumors are true. Let's assume that Joshua was getting his head beat in sparring. I'll whip your head, boy, with the back of the steel. Let's say he was getting his ass whooped in training by some real goons. And let's say he was having a nervous breakdown before the fight. With all that being said, Andy Ruiz whooped that boy's ass. And guys, I'm telling you something like this. Sometimes, psychologically, it is hard. Please excuse my words, guys. I'm doing my best to try to speak, but my vocal cords are giving me issues, so I'm doing my best to just try to enunciate everything right. It's not coming out so good. Andy Ruiz beat that boy ass. And sometimes, mentally, you know you got your ass beat. You know it. And now you got to go back in the ring. And no matter what Eddie says, you can beat him, champ. You can beat him. No matter what your corner says, you have to get over the fact that the last time out, you couldn't do shit with this 6 foot tall, chubby guy that's built like a Teletubby. You got your ass beat by somebody that's built like a Teletubby and smiles like one and folded your ass up like freshly dried laundry and put you away quick before you got wrinkles. That's crazy, man. I was going to go to the gym yesterday. Then I remembered, fuck that, why? Andy Ruiz beat the shit out of him. You know, fat boys are back. I'm going to go get me a gut now. You know what I'm saying? Baby, rub on this. Touch on this. More cushion for the pushing. You know? Oh, what up? In the building, guys. The ladies are coming out. Anita B, what's cracking? How are you doing? What's blazing with you? Michelle says, I bet he was on PEDs. White said, it's easier in the UK. Yeah, I said something like that earlier that, listen, Dylan White didn't want to fuck with Anthony Joshua because he wanted a longer drug testing. Big Baby Miller made those claims, but Big Baby Miller claim fell to his wayside when he got busted for taking more PEDs than Walgreens can hold. You know, Big Baby Miller was on all that shit. GW, HGH, Fruity Pebbles. He was on all that shit. M&M's. You know? Big Baby Miller was trying to recreate his own super serum. He was trying to be the Captain America in the boxing world. But see, I don't know, man. I don't know. With Anthony Joshua, I don't know for sure. But listen, it is visually. Go back and watch when he fought. Watch when Anthony Joshua fought Dominic Brazil. Watch when he fought Klitschko. The guy's hands did not drop in the second round. You know, he was fighting scared. He was backing up. He wasn't using a good jab. He was launching with his jab, like leaning forward with it. He looked like the stuff that goes in toilet bowls and you flush it. He looked like shit. The only thing that was missing around Joshua was the flies. He looked like shit. And Andy Ruiz had the motto, if Joshua is the shit, I'm going to be the toilet and flush that ass. And the new unified champion of the world. Congratulations to Andy Ruiz for beating the brakes off of Joshua that not even Maida, Meineken, nobody can repair that shit. Let's go to the chat. Corey was cracking, my dude. What's doing, man? Guys, I wish I can, I'm using a bad app. Let me see. Joshua fans say Joshua lost because for the first time he chose to wear church socks instead of the socks he always wore, and that's why he was dropped 4 times. Bro, I'm gonna tell you where Joshua went wrong. See, Joshua thought the Drake curse was bullshit. He even posted, I'm gonna break the Drake curse. I'm gonna prove the Drake curse is not real on June the 1st. Think about it, guys. What if the Drake curse is fucking real? He took a picture with Drake. He took a picture with Drake, posted that shit proudly, and went out there and looked awful. I'm telling you, listen, guys. I'm not Cleo. Call me now. I'm not Cleo. I can't predict the future. But I'm willing to bet some money that if there's a rematch, I'm willing to bet you that even if Drake said, let's take another picture, Josh was like, if you don't get that curse throwing motherfucker away from me, if you don't get that, you used to call me on your cell phone, hotline bling motherfucker away from me. They gonna like take that motherfucker out and stone that witch like back in the days. That motherfucker cost me my titles. You know what I'm saying? You used to call me on my cell phone. Anytime Joshua right now is, he don't want to hear no goddamn Drake. Turn that shit off. Blocking his phone numbers and shit. Drake trying to apologize. Drake like, Joshua told Drake like, listen man, if I take another picture with you, I'm going to be like your song, going back to back, losses. But seriously, guys, if I was Andy, I would try to do my fucking best to not have to fight in the UK. Because in the USA, one judge had you losing, 2 judges had it a draw, and you was beating the Thanksgiving socks off of Joshua. This how they was treating you, and you are an American? Who cares that you was built like a roll of balled up socks? Who cares that you was built like a Teletubby? Like a Tickle Me Elmo? Woohoo! You gotta, listen, I don't care how Ruiz is built. I know I make fun of him, because he's built like, you know, a week-old toothpaste that you're squeezing in the middle. I know. But the motherfucker can fight. I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb that this guy got a high IQ. He got fast hands. He doesn't have fast feet, but he has good fucking timing, and he has a great jab. And a multi-jab. That fat guy moved better with his hands than most small guys. And you know what? He has so many options. He has more options than Deontay Wilder. You want to know why I say that? Because they put Deontay Wilder, because he's already a champion, he's on so high of a pedestal that they will only accept him fighting the cream of the crop. He only can fight Fury. Think about this. Wilder is about to fight Ortiz. Ortiz is ranked number 3 in the WBC. Most have him in top 4. And they're bitching about that. They're bitching. They wouldn't accept Deontay Wilder fighting Parker, Povetkin, Pulev. They wouldn't accept it. Maybe they accept Dylan White. Maybe. You know? It's like Wilder has to fight the slim upper echelon of heavyweights. But Andy Ruiz, a guy that wasn't even ranked in most top 10, arguably should be undefeated. He should have beat Parker because he actually parked Parker and put the emergency brake on, but they just didn't give him the win. But since he just got it, and he's Mexican American, and Mexicans on average support their fighters. They support their fighters. And by him being champion, he can fight the Povetkins, and they're cool with it. The Pulevs. Ortiz, that'd be a hell of a fight. I'd love to see that. Ortiz versus Ruiz. Adam Konoski. Adam Konoski wanted to be the first Polish heavyweight. Andy Ruiz is the first Mexican-American heavyweight. Both of them got bodies that you would not find in a magazine. You know what I'm saying? The battle of the bellies. Who will come out? Who will come out standing up, and who will be belly side up? You know? But let's go to the chat. I'm going to try to read it. It's hard. I'm going to try. Anita B. I wish I could read it. She's talking to Michelle. Okay. But listen, man. Joshua fans. A lot of them on suicide watch. I'm not going to lie, man. If I was in the UK, I would have police and extra security around every tall building that a jump will result into death. A lot of them on suicide watch. And a lot of them, they have one hope. They have one hope. Is that Joshua can redeem himself and win. One hope. But if he lose again, think about it. Joshua is the biggest thing in boxing in the UK. Joshua is their Elvis Presley. He was their Elvis Presley. And to Andy Ruiz reminded him, you all shook up. Yeah. He had them all shook up. That was their Elvis. That was their king. That was their Ali. Once you take Joshua away, who is the next biggest star in UK? If you take Joshua away right now, who is the next biggest star in UK? And does he come close to Joshua? I'm waiting. Who is it? Who is the next biggest fighter on the zone that can take Joshua's spot? And if Joshua lose again, listen, that's a good chance. But I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm gonna be 100% honest. If that fight takes place in the UK, I am breaking my 6-year-old kid piggy bank money clearing out my bank. I'm putting all that shit on Joshua. There is no way. If Joshua can manage to stand on his feet for 12 rounds, oh, we're going to get his titles back. Oh, you think the UK is going to let... Think about it. He lost. And they want to fight in the UK? He lost. He lost. He should run it back where he lost it at. But he wants to fight in the UK? Where people thought that even versus Parker, the scorecards was funny? The stoppage versus Takum, the scorecards was... the stoppage was funny? When Parker tried to get inside to do... Imagine this shit, guys. Remember, when Parker fought Anthony Joshua, every time Parker got inside, the referee was like, nah, none of that shit. Oh, no, nope, 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 none of that shit. And made Parker stay at the jab reign of Joshua every time. He did it so much, he even robbed Anthony Joshua of his signature uppercut. Nope, 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 nope. Eddie is gonna make sure that he had the right judges, the right ref, the right venue in place to secure a win. So if that fight is made, even though I believe that Andy Ruiz can beat him again, if Joshua can survive, and here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna tell Joshua, don't engage. Do not throw no goddamn hooks. Because if you throw a hook, you're going to be close enough to get countered. Only jabs and right hands. That's it. If he gets close, Joshua, tie him up. And if he's beating you up, Joshua, you know, in the UK, you are the only boxer that can call your own timeouts. You better stand all 12 rounds. You know? That's all I'm saying. Let me see what you said in the chat. Is that gas at only one round? Man, I hate I can't read any of my vocal cord issues. You know what, guys? I'm going to get outside and take a walk. In case you guys don't know, I'm T-Dub with Blazing the Sports. I'm in St. Louis. I do my third thizzle. If you're ever in the loo, hit your boy up. But let's talk about this, man. Anthony Joshua talking about he's getting knocked out in sparring. Anthony Joshua saying that he was having a nervous breakdown before he came out to the ring. He was looking around. Think about it, guys. Think about it. Did you see how tense Anthony Joshua looked when he walked to the ring? When he got in the ring? When he was saying prayers to himself? And did you see how happy he was after the fight? It's like, honestly, it's like when he took them belts off and gave them to Ruiz, he can finally breathe. It's like a fat man or anybody have on a girdle. You're trying to look a certain way. You got so much pressure you're dealing with. And finally you get home, you get to take that motherfucker off and breathe. Whew, damn. It was a lot off for him, man. You know, and I bet you any kind of money is so much with Joshua, like, you know what? I'm kind of glad I lost. I'm tired of this pressure. I'm tired of having to do all these things. Maybe he's happy because at one point he was talking about doing a rematch with Andy Ruiz, and then he was talking about he doesn't know, it's up to his promoter and manager to decide what he's going to do. Think about it. Think about this, guys. At first, now it's up to his managers and promoters. But before the Andy Ruiz fight, he was telling Deontay Wilder to leave off the promoters and the managers and sit down and have a one-on-one Let us talk about this. But now with a rematch against Andy, nah, it's up to my managers and promoters and what they want to do. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, Joshua. Here's a little secret. They want you to fight that guy back. Because when you lost your titles, Matchroom lost an edge. You're the best thing going for Matchroom. They use you to sign other fighters. Hey guys, if you sign with us, we'll put you on an Anthony Joshua card because he's a really big name and that gets you big exposure. Eddie want those belts, man. In the famous word of 50 cents, you gotta do something, baby. You gotta do something, baby. But I think he's a broke man. Even if he does beat Andy, he'll never be the same, man. He'll never be the same. Once you get destroyed like that, it's like this, man. Remember Ricky Bobby? Remember Ricky Bobby had that wreck? And the motherfucker couldn't, like, every time he got in the car, he couldn't drive, he was freaking out and shit. Remember that? Ricky Bobby? If you ain't first, you're last. And it took them putting a cougar in the car with him. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. That shit won't work in real life. Once something like that mentally happens, that's like when people go off to war. They go off to war and do the unthinkable things. And they get mentally fucked. And they come home. And they just can't get past that shit. It's in their head. And you telling me that what just happened to Anthony Joshua, and you want him to get back in there with that fucking lion? You want him to get back in there with that stick of toothpaste? Tube of toothpaste? He's going to be scared. He's not going to be the same. He's going to fold up. He's going to fold. You better take the fight in UK. You better take him off VADA. You better take him off VADA. Put him on some shit that can get him right over there. Build his confidence up. Minnesota was cracking. Hold on, let me try to get in the car and read that. Hold on. Wish I could see, man. I'm gonna try to find a different app, guys. AJ, hold on. AJ needs a new trainer. Did you see how low his hands were? Bro, you know what I said? I said that Anthony Joshua, maybe before you got in here, he needs to fire anyone that did not tell him to use his jab over and over and over. His jab should have been working 4 to 5 times more than his right hand and his left hook. His jab should have been the key weapon to winning that fight. Here's the secret. If you're a taller fighter, fighting somebody that's significantly shorter than you, you need to use your jab. And your jab establishes distance. Your jab is used to be a blinder, which you put in your opponent's face. Your jab is used to be a weapon. And your jab sets up the right hand. Your jab is almost like a pole to keep somebody where you want them. And he did not use it effectively. After round 1, his corners, which I heard, I don't know how true it is, I heard that Anthony Joshua has a lot of yes men. A lot of yes men. Well, Joshua, do you only want to run 2 miles today? Okay, we'll just do 2 miles. Joshua, how many rounds do you want to spar today, Joshua? There's no way that trainers should be asking their fighters what to do. You should be telling your fighters what to do. Whenever your fighter is feel that he's bigger than his trainer, then he needs somebody else. Whenever you think your money makes you know more than what your trainers taught you to get you where you at, you need to be like, Be humble. Sit down and be humble. But I tell you one thing, Andy Ruiz humbled his ass. Andy Ruiz humbled the shit out of Joshua. And part of me feel a little bit bad for him. See, part of me don't feel bad because I got tired of not the UK fans that just support their fighters, but the assholes, the ones that are doing video. Do you believe it, guys, that there are people right now, I'm not even gonna give them credit, they got videos out right now dogging Deontay Wilder, blaming him for Joshua losing. See, it's all Wilder's fault. If Wilder would have just fought Joshua, if Wilder would have just took the $120 million deal. Listen, guys, listen. If Wilder would have took the $120 million deal, or $100, it was $100 million or $120, I don't know. That deal was proposed after Joshua had already signed to fight Big Baby Miller. Which means if Wilder was already signed, not Wilder, but Joshua was already signed to have a fight, what happened to Joshua would have still happened. Because if Wilder would have signed to that, think about it. Think about this shit, guys. Wilder would have signed. First fight with Joshua, $40 million. Second fight with Joshua, $40 million. That fight would have never fucking happened. Wilder would have been sidelined because if in the contract that 2 fights had to be with Joshua, and Joshua is most likely going to be tied up with Andy for another 2 fights, most likely, that would have fucked Deontay Wilder's whole career up. And he would have been getting paid underpaid. Joshua wouldn't have been worth shit. The fight, I mean, it would have been a dumb decision. But, let other people tell it. Wilder, and then another question, how is Deontay Wilder to blame for Joshua looking like shit? How was he to blame? Because Andy Ruiz came determined. How was Wilder to blame if Joshua getting knocked out in sparring? How was Wilder to blame if Joshua taking his time and having a nervous breakdown before entering the ring? These are motherfuckers that just cannot accept reality. These are people that refuse to accept their own issues. And besides the ones I hate, besides the UK fans that are like that, not all, remember, it's not all, because there are some really good ones. I'm talking about the ones that went over and beyond. The ones I hate more than them is the American black media YouTube fans that only do videos to dog Deontay Wilder, to dog Errol Spence Jr., to try to manipulate either the Mexican fans to subscribe to them or the UK fans to subscribe to them. They rather dog them guys for subscribers. Let me see. I see you talking, Minnesota. Let me see. Exactly, bro. He looked like shit. He didn't parry with the jab at all. Nope. AJ needs a Teddy Endless, Buddy McGirt, John David Jackson. Listen, bro, he needs, if I was him, because if you look back and your corner could not get the right adjustments to you, you need to let them go, man. And I get it. See, sometimes we have loyalty. We want to be loyal to the people. But this is boxing. If they're not taking you to the next level, sometimes it's good to move on. And this was the biggest fight in Joshua's career, up to date. And the reason I say it's the biggest fight, the Klitschko was a big fight up until now. But you're making a debut in another country in front of foreign eyes to make a threat at that country's champion, you need to shine at this moment. In the moment that you needed to shine, Andy Ruiz treated you like you haven't paid your light bill in 3 months. He shut them some bitches off. Guys, thanks everybody for coming in. I appreciate it. I apologize for not being able to see the chat well and read it well. I apologize due to my vocal cord issues. I know my enunciations. Just me being clear, period. Thank you guys for coming. I got to get ready and go back to work. Salute to all. And to all, have a good day.